If you're ready to break free from all the things holding you back, then Leah Vieira's book, Becoming God's Canvas, is for you. Blessed with intuitive gifts at an early age, Leah at first pushed them aside. Her full awakening to her natural abilities was a process she shares in the book. Today, Leah works with people to help them heal and embrace their true potential. This book takes you on an inner journey to awaken your true self and live the life you deserve.
Leah, before we begin discussing your new book, tell us a little bit about your history with intuition and spirituality.
Well, I've always been, ever since I was a little kid, I've always been intuitively guided and seeing angels and seeing fairies, and but I got a little bit scared because people were like, "Oh, these things aren't real. You know, you're not really seeing what you're seeing." I'm like, "No, I really am." So I got really scared of that, and I just I turned it off when I was a kid. And when I was in my 20s, I got some pretty bad anxiety issues, like where I was having trouble. I really just got fed up with how I was living because it was really controlling my decisions as far as like being out in public and stuff like that. And I didn't know how it was tied into being an empath, but I just kind of was like fed up, and I'm like, I'm going to change it. So I went to an energy counselor, and we started, healing certain aspects of my life. And then I started realizing and discovering these things about myself, and it just like a switch, everything just kind of turned on, and I started seeing everything again. And it was a little freaky, I'm not going to lie.
Really?
It was a little intense to like see an angel and like, oh my gosh, this is actually, this isn't made up, this is actually real. And because I had forgotten what I had seen when I was a little kid. And so it took a little while to adjust to.
Well, let's get into your new book, Becoming God's Canvas. So there are 3 parts to the book, right?
Right.
Okay, then the first part is about becoming aware of oneself. Tell us a little bit about that process and what that entails.
Well, the awareness part is really, it's not the awakening itself. It's really just like the beginning of it. I see myself. I see these things that need to be changed in my life. I'm tired of living this way that I'm living. And once you realize that you have the power to change this, that you are the one that's preventing it from going forward, it really just becomes really clear of the steps that you need to take to either heal your life or make those changes in your life that are necessary and really move forward and become the person that you deserve to be and that who you want to be. It's not something that's like going to take a week. Like, we're talking years. Mm-hmm. Awakenings don't happen really fast. You can have many awakenings, but the real deal is going to take a series of years. So this book is really just a guide. It's not a very big book, so you can read it, but by the time you get to the end, you still will either be at the beginning of your awakening or maybe in the middle, but you definitely won't be through it because it takes a long time to accomplish.
It's a process.
The process, yes, and to heal. Healing takes a really long time. Some are going to take longer than others, depending upon how much they need to heal, how much darkness they have inside them. And that's what happens in the middle part of the book is when you start facing your darkness and start healing those blocks.
What are some of the most common blocks that we can face? One
of the most common blocks, at least that I've seen in my, I teach at an angel color healing workshop that I help people one-on-one find the blocks, and we go into a meditation together and stuff. Really what I found most people do is they hide either their gifts, they hide their knowledge, and they put these blocks in front of them so that they can't see who they really are, and then they can't move forward.
Well, you give some great advice in the book about healing, and you write a number of different ways in which we can work towards that healing. And some of the examples you give are color, creativity, intuition, and love. Would you tell us a little bit more about those techniques?
Yeah, all of the techniques that I have in the book are all directly guided into love. So love is the foundation. And then creatively, I've used, color messages that I see around people that the angels help me heal them. And they can heal themselves. But you can go to angelhealingcolors.com and, you can find your own at Angel Messages on that site. And then there's also, there's numbers that you can find out about yourself, and there's using your intuition, but it's all really directly going into love. That's the source.
Well, once we've read so much of your book and we've become a little more grounded and a little more in touch with ourselves, and like you said, it's a journey that is not just going to be tied up in 1 month. It's a process. But the third part of your book is called Accepting Your Path with an Open Heart. Without giving too much of the book away, tell us about this section and what we can expect when we get to this point.
Okay, this is probably the most intense part of the book, because so at the beginning you become aware of yourself, of all these changes that you need to make, and in the middle where you really kind of clean house with yourself. You get out all those blocks, you get out all the darkness, and learn how to connect to the divine. And then at the very end, I'll reference the cover of the book. It says Becoming God's Canvas. We all have a picture that we have painted of ourselves. And sometimes other people have influenced how this painting, how we make it, this idea that we have of yourself. So at the very end, I have methods, and you just have to read them to find out what it is. But you're just going to wipe that painting clean. And then you're going to let God tell you what it is, how it needs to be painted.
What do you hope your readers will discover about themselves after reading the book?
Well, I hope they discover themselves, number one, because then I don't know what they're reading, but they were reading my book. But really what I want them to discover is that love is the connection that we have to God. And it's not about, whatever religion you have or ideal you have, that's secondary. No one is going to be able to help you have the connection to God except for you. You're the only one that can do it. Nobody else can do it. And the key to connecting to God, is love.
I know you mentioned a website earlier. Tell us about the other websites that you have and how people can learn a little bit more about you and the different things that you offer, and especially more about the book.
Well, the one that's about the book is BecomingGodsCanavs.com. And, it has more information about the book and, of course, where you can go to purchase it. It's a really nice little site dedicated to the book. And then there's LeiaVieira.com, which it's LeiaVieira.com. It's kind of hard to spell. That site's my personal blog. So I have a newsletter that you can sign up for, and I have a blog that I write every month. I'm striving to be a better person, and I'm really just sharing with everyone how I'm going through it. And this is working for me, so, it works for others as well.
Well, we love positive inspiration here at Hay House, and our thanks to you, Leia Vieira. Please check out her new book, Becoming God's Canvas, a spiritualist guide to going through an awakening. Thank you so much for being with us today, Leia.